Welcome back to 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse for another edition of Really Weird Cinema. Now I'm going to take you back to 1976, I believe, for the sequel to Mandingo called Drum. And I honestly was trying to rack my brains. Did I see this in a freestanding grindhouse or did I see this at a drive-in? I'm thinking drive-in because I don't think a white person could have made it out of a grindhouse alive after this viewing. I mean, this film has something to piss off everything. Overt racism, a gay slave trader, lesbian sex between slave and mistress, selling black babies, and Pam Grier. The cast is insane. Warren Oates, who plays the whole slave breeder as a good old boy, like there's nothing wrong with this. Isla Vega as Drum's mother, who had an affair with the slave who was his father, and then basically gave the baby to her, I guess you would call lesbian lover to raise. And let's see, Yaphet Kotto as Blaze, who gets in a fight with Drum, who's played by Ken Norton. And if you want to know where Quentin Tarantino lifted the fight scene for Django Unchained, look no further. So Blaze is owned by John Calicos, who is basically a gay slaver who puts the moves on Drum, and he doesn't like that. And Pam Grier is brought in as Pamela Grier to be Warren Oates' bedmate until he decides to breed her with Drum because he can get $2,000 for that baby. It's very, very politically incorrect, and really, the use of the N-word is like every other sentence, and like I said, Warren Oates comes off like, a good old boy, like there's nothing wrong, this is dinner conversation. And he actually has the Isla Vega character, who runs a whorehouse, to get him a hoe who's respectable, played by Fiona Lewis, who sort of is not into what he is doing and doesn't want this talk around the dinner table. It gets really crazy because Warren Oates has a daughter, played by, guess what? Cheryl Rainbow Smith, who goes after these black dudes and is playing with Yaphet Kotto's pants, and basically Drum is trying to get her away, and she sets up this poor guy, and basically Warren Oates has him chained up, wondering what to do with him, and figures he'd castrate him until he catches the daughter basically flashing beaver in his face. Like I said, this is one crazy fucking movie for a Paramount release. So now we segue to another slaver coming in, played by crusty old Royal Dano, who admits that one of these guys was a runner and I cut his hamstring. So they put all these slaves in the barn with Yaphet, who stirs them up and says, now is the time to revolt. So they basically go out and kill all the house slaves because they're loyal to the master. They kill Royal Dano because he's a scumbag, and they're just about killing everybody, until the John Calicos character shoots Blaze and has his nuts ripped off by Drum. So everybody is dead at the end. Pam Grier, Isla Vega, it's only Warren Oates and Fiona Lewis left standing along with Drum, and Warren Oates yells, "Run, Drum, run," and Drum does run, and that's freeze frame, and that's the end of the movie. I guess it was open for a sequel that never happened, but I think this was all part of these trashy novels about slave plantations, the Falconhurst or Falcon Crest series or something like that. But man, I'll tell you something. There was no way I would even have gone to see this in a movie theater. It had to be a drive-in, and it had to be co-filled with something else that I was really interested in watching, because my girl Lorena sent me the Blu-ray for Christmas, and I revisited it, and I'm like, holy fuck. That's all I can say. So is it worth checking out for a time period piece? Yeah, okay. It's sort of like after everybody had done something. Burt Kennedy was the original director, but was replaced by Steve Carver, who had directed Pam Grier in The Arena with Margaret Markov for AIP. Warren Oates had also co-starred with Isla Vega in Sam Peckinpah's Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia a few years prior to this. So a lot of these people had worked together before. And like I say, it's got a really wild, great cast, but holy shit, is it politically incorrect and racially insensitive. So again, watch at your own risk. So that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. And it's New Year's Eve, so happy fucking New Year. Stay safe, party hardy, and we will catch you on the flip side.